Okay, then we come to another quick speaker. Yeah, Mr. Victor Kwong. Yeah, Victor is my ex-colleague. Yeah, he is the general manager of corporate sustainability in the Hong Kong and China Gas Company Limited. Victor has more than 38 years of experience in the area of corporate sustainability, environmental protection, occupational health and safety, fire protection, crisis management, and security. Enough. Okay, okay, okay. I know that he coordinated a lot of the environmental program, and now he also help Towngas to operate over 2060 projects in Hong Kong and mainland China. I pass the time to you, Victor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation of from Green Council for having me to share about the Towngas SDG and the challenge that we are facing. So actually for the challenge today is the COVID-19. Today we got 16 confirmed case. So that is the most serious day within the 2 months. So having considered COVID-19, it is a immediate threat, but I think is short term, but I think as a responsible organization, we will think something much longer term on sustainability, on SDG, etc. So today I'm going to share something is about the Towngas SDG. So well, for my presentation that will be divided into 4 parts. One is company profile, and the other is about the Towngas green business, and another one is about the CSR program from Towngas and the ways forward. So what is about the company profile? I think first is well, here is we for Towngas we found in 1862. We start in Central, that's mean here, and we are the first public utility in Hong Kong. And then we start in 1860. We expanded our business operation to heating and cooking business. And in the 1990s, so well, for China, they understand that they need to have more natural gas in mainland China to handle, to tackle the well, the coal, well, say about the pollution issue from generally from coal, etc. So we have start our business in mainland China. Now we have 3 major business operations. One is in Hong Kong. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. One is in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, well, we have about 1.9 million customers in Hong Kong. And other operation is in mainland China. For the mainland utility, well, we have actually 32 million customers in mainland China. So another one is the new business, what we call the new energy business that I'm going to introduce a little bit later. So this is our business overview for Towngas. In fact, for Towngas, we have 266 projects in mainland China. That is from here. From north is Heilongjiang, and to south is Hainan. And to the west is Sichuan, and then here is well, the Shandong area, etc. So about half of our operation, we have 136 city gas operation in mainland China. Apart from that, we also have some water, wastewater supply, waste to energy operation, and also some food waste recycling, telecommunication, etc. So for Towngas, we have our management philosophy is we aspire to be the greenest Hong Kong-based company. So we have another is the motto is about this G equal to I times I. G means growth. If you want to have our business grow, we must have innovation, and more important is implementation. So I'm sharing something about our project that is innovation and also that we have implemented here. So about SDG. About 2 years ago, we have, in our company, we have what we call the Corporate Sustainability Committee. The chairman is our managing director. So among 70 SDG, we selected 4 that is more closely related to our business. One is 13 is climate action, another 11 is about sustainable city and community, and 6 is about clean water and sanitary, and 7 is affordable and clean energy. We think that our business can have some contribution in this particular 4 SDG. So this is about something about our green business. So we've separated 4 parts. One is here. One is here is about clean water and sanitary. So in mainland China, actually, we have fresh water supply, wastewater, water recycling, and also energy. We have about the natural gas conversion, clean production of Towngas, etc. And then here is sustainable city, where we have the food waste recycling, and we have also what we call the second generation biodiesel, what we call another also known as advanced biofuel, and also some what we call the used gas appliance recycling program in Hong Kong. And for the climate action, then we have something to reduce the carbon emission. That's the utilization of landfill gas. And also we have done some is about the climate change risk assessment. And then recently we are carrying out is the TCFD program. So one is about the natural gas conversion. I think in the past, you know, in China, well, about over 80% of the energies come from coal. And when you talking about coal, there's a lot of air pollution issue, etc. So they understand that if they want to tackle the air pollution issue, they must change from coal to cleaner energy. That is natural gas. When you see here, when you compare coal with natural gas, you can see here, especially from sulfur dioxide, that is, well, we use coal that will be about 2,600 times, and particular is about 4,000 times, etc. In also about CO2 is about 2. So for Towngas, we are actually one of the 4 major gas corporations in mainland China. Last year, well, our gas sales is up to 25.5 billion meter cube of natural gas in mainland China. So apart from that, natural gas storage in mainland China is also a significant usage because of the huge demand for natural gas, particularly during the winter time. So for this, we are the only city gas corporation in mainland China that we have our own soft cavern for storage natural gas. This is very environmental friendly and safe for storage of natural gas, etc. And another, I'm talking about something in mainland China. How about in Hong Kong? Actually, in Hong Kong, in the past, we have done a lot is to, replace coal and heavy fuel to high quality lava. And then in 1999, well, we just next to our type of gas production plant, there's a Xinwan landfill site, and that's our first pilot project for the utilization of landfill gas. And then in 2006, then we have introduced the natural gas as a feedstock. Today, we have about 65% of our energy feedstock is from natural gas. And 2007, we have another big project is the utilization of landfill gas from land. And then in 2017 is from the landfill gas from sand. And also we are also exploring some biogas project is from the food waste processing in Hong Kong. So, well, we have a target for the carbon emissions. The target is this year is to reduce 30% of our carbon emission. So we have confident that we can reduce the carbon emission by 30% this year. So next one is about the people. So we have the concession scheme that is start from 1995. So every year about 45,000 households can enjoy this concession scheme. This is for the elderly and the people with disability, and also with for the single parent family and the low income family, etc. So the up to now the total contribution is about 25 million. Another one is about the gas appliance. So for this one is especially what we call 兩廚四寶 is for the commercial kitchens. If you go to the kitchen for the commercial, for the restaurant, etc., you feel, well, it's quite hot. It's because of the waste heat. So our engineer designed some appliance that's commonly used in Hong Kong that we can capture the waste heat and we can boost up the efficiency to 95%. So how about the domestic? For this one is that about, for domestic is about the burner. So that is all very special designed burner in Hong Kong with a very high efficiency. And this tool is about the battery. Like this one, well, every 1 or 2 years, you need, in the past, you need to replace the batteries. But now we have a special design. For this one is, I think this is first in the world, is we make use of the heat to generate electricity to charge the rechargeable battery so that you don't need to throw away the battery into the landfill. And this one is also very unique that we won a lot of award is. This one is we use the hydropower to generate electricity to charge the rechargeable battery. So every year we expect to save about 1 million battery every year. Apart from that is about distributed energy system. So I think you know that, well, for the conventional traditional power plant, the efficiency is about 40 to 50 or maybe up to 60% for the, well, the new power plants. But with the distribution energy system that we also utilize the heat instead of dumping this kind of heat into the sea, then we can boost up the efficiency to 80%. This is the first example in Hong Kong that we make use the landfill gas near the Level Hospital in year 2016. So for this particular project, we generate power and also we make use of the waste heat to generate steam, hot water, etc. that can be utilized in the hospital. So the efficiency can be up to 87%. So when you come 50 to 87%, you see there's a huge difference. Furthermore, that because of landfill gas is carbon neutral. So this is, I think, one of the most energy efficient and low carbon project in Hong Kong. And apart from that, we have some, well, actually some 2.4 customer in mainland China is providing clean city water. It's because based on our more than 100 years of experience of laying pipeline, handling, well, pipeline management, etc. So that's why, well, we can have this, well, 10 freshwater supply water treatment plant and 3 treated wastewater treatment plant, and also this wastewater recycling facility. And actually, this facility is purely designed for Samsung semiconductor. And about half, 50% of the water can be reused, etc. So it is one of our good example for wastewater reusing in mainland China. So this is also another project in Suzhou area. Yes, thank you. So for this, I think in Hong Kong, we also have, so in Hong Kong, we also have the food waste treatment facility in Lantau Island. The difference for this particular one is that, well, we also have anaerobic digestion, but for this facility is very near to our natural gas receiving station, so that the biogas generated after treatment, we can inject to our natural gas pipeline. And also nearby, we have what we call the biofuel manufacturing facility for this one. So for the oil and grease in the food waste, then we can ship it to this particular location. And nearby, as I mentioned, we have also the sewage treatment facility, etc. So it's very integrated. Here is, well, for the, as I mentioned, for the biogas that we generate from this food processing plant, we can, well, we have a pipeline to send it to a French manufacturer factory. That is in last year that we're able to help them to achieve the carbon neutral objective. And this one, well, for the biomethane, for this factory, they use the fuel source for the CHP project that generates steam and steam for the use in this particular factory. Also, we can sell the carbon credit for this carbon neutral gas, etc. And also in Suzhou area, there's a lot of yard waste. So we have also the facility to convert the yard waste into the biomass for the use of furnace or power plant, etc. So this one, also, well, we welcome the people from Hong Kong to visit our plant. So this one is from the Environmental Bureau and the EDB department. And also this is the tours from the from the Federation of Hong Kong Industry representative, etc. So as I mentioned, we have another plants nearby is what we call the advanced or second generation biodiesel. For Hong Kong, well, you understand there's two biodiesel plant, and they are only for the first generation. For the second generation, for this, what we also know as HVO, that's, well, in the first generation, the maximum you can blend into the diesel is 7%. So normally in Hong Kong is about 5%, but for the HVO it is unlimited. So that's why in Europe, in order to meet the renewable energy directive tool, that is in 2030, they need to have 40% of the fuel source, 40% of the fuel source from biodiesel. That's why we have well, heavy demand for this HVO in Europe at this particular moment. And also one important point is that we can reduce the carbon footprint by up to 90%. Another advantage for the second generation biodiesel is that, well, when you use it in the vehicle, etc. For the first generation biodiesel, the NOx level will probably go up by 10 to 20%. That's caused the emission pollution issue in Hong Kong. But for the second generation biodiesel, we have actually there's a test in Europe that you can reduce the NOx emission by about 20%. So at this particular moment, we have a joint venture with the local University of Hong Kong to have some pilot testing in Hong Kong to see actually the result is similar to those in Europe at this moment. Another is that we have what we call the used gas appliance recycle program. So every year we will collect about 95% of the retired gas turbine in Hong Kong. And for this time of recycling, well, we generate some funding for this. We set up what we call the Towngas green funding, etc. And this help our some green activity organized by our company or by the NGO in Hong Kong. So apart from that, as I mentioned, is about the just in November 2017, we have another project. It's called the Sand Landfill Gas Utilization Project. Is located somewhere here, and this is the processing plant. So, and from here, we upgrade the landfill gas to synthetic natural gas and then ship it to one of our off-take stations near here and then inject to our pipeline and send it to our customer. So for this, well, this is a diagram here, and just next to our gas stream facility where we have a data center. At the data center here, we use the landfill gas as a gas absorption chiller to provide cooling to our data center, and then another pipeline is to the to here is to Jiangnan regular station. So we estimate that each year we are able to reduce 36,000 tons of CO2. That's equivalent to the plantation of 2.4 million trees in Hong Kong. So, and we also carry out some climate change risk assessment, and in back to 2015 to assess whether the climate change will have any particular impact to our operation, etc. Another one is recently we are carrying out a task force on climate change financial disclosure. So it is a partnership with Business Environment Council. So we want to assess whether we are able, as an energy company, we are able to meet the requirement for this particular TCFD requirement. So we are organizing a number of workshops with our senior management to make them understand about the climate change risk, the impact, and also about the long-term strategic planning for our company, etc. So the way forward is about one. Well, it's about the award diving, and we can skip it here. Is another one is about the renewable energy. So actually, for the phase one project in Hong Kong, we have 6 locations installing the solar panel. We expect the revenue is about 1 million per year, and generally about 250,000 kilometer electricity each year. And the payback period is about 6 to 7 years, and it's very successful. That's why we have are planning for the phase 2 project that we have. We try to install the solar panel in 3 off-take stations. So for this particular project, well, we are thinking some new ideas. One is bifacial solar panel. For this one, it's just single side. And for the second phase, for this particular project, we expect to have both sides with solar panel, so that we are expect to have an enhancement of the energy yield by 10 to 15%. Apart from that, we are considering another is sun tracking that will also help to boost up the energy yield by 12 to 30%, etc. So actually, we have another project in mainland China is to convert the agricultural waste to, especially to bioethanol. As I mentioned, we have the plants is the biodiesel. So this one is bioethanol. So this year will be going to complete by the end of this year. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Richter. Every time your presentation will give us new project. That's very good.
Oh.
Okay. This question is, I did not ask you when I was in Towngas, but now I think I should ask you, how can Towngas build a very strong environmental culture among the whole group?
I think top management commitment is very, very important. And our managing director will understand that climate change, sustainability, environmental protection is very, very important for a large corporation, organization, etc. Especially for the energy company, as I mentioned, if we want to be sustainable, we must targeting at some new energy project, etc. So as I mentioned, say for example the HVO project, etc. That is very new around the world, not even in Hong Kong, mainland China, even in Europe, etc. There's few such plants, because for our feedstock for the HVO is purely from waste, like use the cooking oil or some waste from the palm oil waste, etc.
You know, you mentioned about G equal to innovation time implementation. In fact, innovation is not simple and easy because innovation there have a lot of risks. Then
Yeah.
how to motivate the employee to provide innovative idea in Towngas? Yeah.
In Towngas is also a top management commitment because our managing director think that innovation is very important, that we must have new way of doing work. So we encourage our people, well, even the frontline people to think new way of doing the work. So every year we have what we call the innovation award, etc., to encourage the people to think about innovation. And also we have what we call the Hall of Innovation. That's well, we have a lot of demonstration to show what kind of innovation that we have in Towngas, etc.
You call a lot of the project in the Hong Kong and also in mainland China. How do you compare the effectiveness of this project between mainland and Hong Kong?
I think the problems in Hong Kong is, well, there's a lot of regulation. And I think another point is, well, say, in mainland China, there's a lot of, well, say, support from the government. If you say something environmental, well, they will give you financial support, land support, etc.
Okay.
But in Hong Kong, there's a lot of obstacles, yes, and so there's a, well, actually some difficulty when we implement the project in Hong Kong.
There's a question from the floor. Yeah, please.
Mr. Kwong, your company's commitment to innovation seems very strong, and I've noted the same obstacles in the absence of legislation supporting innovation here in Hong Kong. I'm surprised that your company hasn't offered a plan for partial or complete hydrogen gasification, because you have an infrastructure that could already support 20 or 30% of hydrogen bulking out methane without changing the technology of your pipelines. What are the obstacles that you see to hydrogen gasification?
Well, actually, for Towngas, we have about 55% hydrogen in our Towngas network. And I think the obstacle in Hong Kong is that we don't have green hydrogen in Hong Kong, because green hydrogen, you need, well, say, renewable energy to produce the hydrogen. Otherwise, it will be meaningless, because at this moment, we are using natural gas and using naphtha to produce hydrogen in Hong Kong. So I think well, it's more depends on the availability of green hydrogen, and we are looking, well, forward to, well, the availability of green hydrogen around the world. I think, well, say, for example, in Australia, in Middle East, they are, well, targeting production green hydrogen at this moment, but it's not available at this moment yet.
In Shenzhen, the major electrical distribution companies here are investing increasingly in nuclear power, and their future plans really focus around reinforcing the transmission networks. The expansion of nuclear power offers an opportunity for hydrogen electrolysis. As you say, it's redundant power that otherwise would be wasted. Do you think there is a political appetite to support that?
I think it needs some time to, well, explore this particular aspect. Actually, for the Shenzhen gas, it is, well, we have, some shareholding on this. So that's why we can explore your particular issue. But I think there's a lot of technical difficulties. If you want to convert nuclear, you make use of nuclear energy to make hydrogen. So I think it's we need to explore this particular aspect. We don't want to lose out the possibility, but it depends on the actual situation.
Victor, there's a question from the online. How can a long time horizon company like Towngas persuade the other business to take a long-term perspective to business? Is there a peer pressure point like agriculture? Do you get it?
I don't get it.
You don't really get it. Oh, really get a question. Do you? No?
No.
Okay, then we have another question is any carbon capture project like the enhanced oil recovery for you?
For Towngas, we don't have the. I think even in Hong Kong, we don't have the carbon capture facility in Hong Kong. So it's not easy to handle this particular aspect.
Okay.
I think it leads the Hong Kong government to explore this possibility.
Okay. Then is another question is about why L'Oreal count as a carbon credit project. L'Oreal, yeah. Why the L'Oreal count as a carbon credit project?
Oh, because for the biogas is carbon neutral, and in mainland China, this kind of carbon neutral project can be traded in the national carbon market.
Then how about the Towngas landfill gas and the coal-back methane gas capture also count as carbon credit?
No, that is not applied in Hong Kong because in Hong Kong we don't have the carbon trading project or regulation in Hong Kong.
Okay, now I think time is up. Thank you, Rector.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then we look forward in next presentation. You will have more new project to us.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rector.